Alrighty, welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I did one. I've been busy the past few weeks. Once in a while there are sporadic videos, but plan to be a little bit consistent until I take a holiday break. So what do we have here? New Superelemental Summons is up for the fire element, and we have some new heroes, so let's have a look at it. Zaria, 5-star. Well, they really have a thing for grandmas, huh? So I mean, we did have Muini, and now Zaria, and then if you look at like the Three Kingdoms, you do have another grandma as well in Ziwang Mu, but more of that later. So Zaria is a 5-star super elemental hero. So super elemental heroes do have this super elemental family where every turn they get to change one of the shields on the board into power gems, where it deals 20 damage to random enemies, and when they're matched they deal 10 damage to all enemies. They also have this troop mastery passive skill, which deals extra elemental damage to the hero's troops, deals extra elemental damage against the weaker elements, so in this case it will be nature, and then they receive 10% less elemental damage from troops of the stronger element, which means they will receive less 10% damage from ice elements. So let's look at Zaria as a whole. Cataclysmic Divination, mana speed average, deals 250% damage to all enemies. If there are 6 or more fire shields on the board, damage is increased to 300%. If there are 12 or more fire shields on the board, damage is increased to 500%. So we have seen this kind of ability in Roz in Nature 1, and then in the blue the blue 4-star Linus. So Roz and Linus are fast, but this one, it's average instead, based I think purely on the fact that she deals damage to all at the first, even without the requirements of having more fire shields on the board, as opposed to Linus and Roz, who are dealing single target 3, and then it's either single to 3 or to 5. So what do I think about this hero? On surface it looks very mediocre. Like, I mean, as an average speed, most of the time you're going to assume that you won't be able to get more than 6 fire shields on the board. If you get like 6, that's like pretty much setting up to get 6 fire shields before you fire Zaria. There's very rare occasions where you'll get 12. So let's ignore the bottom line, 500%, and let's look at 250% and then 300%. Now, her sword stat is crazy. 1297 is actually really high, especially with the alpha power attack up as well. So if you look at that, on surface, if you manage to fire her in the first 6 turns, it's crazy. The damage is quite high. Okay, and to benchmark this, let's look at some of the available fire heroes that are of the same range. So she's average speed with a base damage of 250% damage at 1297 sword. So let's look at, let's look at a bear. Let's look at Aslar first. So slow 205% damage with not as much sword. So that's like the season 1 benchmark here. And then you look at Okeanos. Okeanos is less sword damage and less damage to all, but he does get this additional tax, in the form of utility. That's where Zaria is missing. And then you look at, I would say, average speed. So something like Costume Guardian Kong. Costume Guardian Kong deals about 300% damage. The problem is that he has a very low, I think it's very high sword but very low shield. So if you put him on defense or you use him on offense as well, it's pretty he can die pretty fast. Then if you look at Khufu, it's 450% to all, but this one, it requires having to chain. And if you look at, let's say, Okay, so Otis is 370% damage, but at slow speed with an even less. This is much less of a sword stat as well, although he does have this rage alpha power as well. I'm trying to look at average speed. What are the options here? Octros will be one. It's 340% damage if you have 8 fire shields on the board. So if you're looking at a base of 6, let's say you look at 6 or less than 6. So 6, it's 300%, so it's the same as Zaria. If less than that, then it's you deal a little bit more, although you get you do have this utility of negative 24% attack. I think the costume Octros has a maximum cap of 440% damage, so that's more as well. But again, it's not as high of a sword stat, so that's something to consider as well. Zenda, so this one is the same, 250% damage, but this one does have the burn damage, and they also steal generated mana. So it's about the utility. The fact that you have utility, I think it's something that is missing from Zaria, and that's what makes her a bit not so, it's not so potent, I would say. It's very vanilla. She's very, very vanilla. I mean, it's all about just how much damage you can deal to all enemies. So, which means you would need to pair her with someone like, for example, Ray, which has elemental defense down against fire. You have Brimstone. So let's look at Brimstone. Let me just see if I can pull that up. So Brimstone is 200% damage to all enemies with an almost similar sword stat as well. I'm trying to double limit break him. I finally decided to pull the trigger. But this one does have utility, so it's different than Zaria. And I guess that's basically it for the benchmark. So if you could pair Brimstone with Zaria, I would say that's really good. That's one of the good pairings. Similarly, you can use, like, for example, Wilbur. Wilbur will be kind of a good one here. You can use like Ilmarinen for the defense down. Those kind of things that will make her really more impactful. Otherwise, if she's just by herself, it doesn't really have that similar utility. I mean, if you were to use her on defense as a tank, I would say Ukkonen or Brimstone still is better. Even Cardinal Richelieu as well. I think Cardinal Richelieu, let's have a look. No, he's not here. I do not have him. So Cardinal Richelieu, I know one of my teammates has it. Yep. So Cardinal Richelieu is 330% damage with a, well, he's not double limit broken, but I assume with double limit broken, you add about another 30% to this. It will be about 1,001, 1,002 around there. So less sword, but I think the utility is the one that people might look at when comparing between Zaria and the rest of this red hit-alls. Overall, I think it's very vanilla. It kind of reminds you like a Sobek that just basically is a big hitter that basically does nothing else except deal damage. So it needs some help. So if you have Brimstone or you have someone that you can pair with, like having a defense down, or maybe an attack up as well, then Zaria becomes a bit more potent. It's also good to, I mean, if you don't have Cardinal, you don't have Brimstone, you don't have Ukkonen, I guess you could put her as a tank, considering that she takes 10% less damage from ice. Maybe you can consider this. I'm not too sure. I don't see her as a tank figure, like maybe a flank. I would say when you kind of want to force people not to use raids. So maybe you don't put her, maybe you put like a blue tank and you have her as the flank or something like that. Maybe that will be the way to go. But overall, I think, okay, I think she's pretty, I wouldn't say she's the best, but she's pretty decent on its own, if you look at it from all those stats. The next one we have Nova. Nova is a 4-star super elemental. The same with the other elements, they are introducing 4-star super elemental heroes. So same thing, she's a druid. Healing fire spirits, average, recovers 25% health for all allies, recover additional 2% health per each fire shield on the board, up to 45% health in total, which means you need a max of 10 fire shields on the board. And it cleanses status ailments from all allies. So Pretty mediocre healer. I don't like that it's average. I wish she would have been fast. That will be more usable. Average 4-star healers are a bit mediocre right now, especially when you have heroes like double costume Rigard. You have Annabelle, which are much better, I would say. But having a red cleanser might actually come in handy at times. So maybe this is one of those that you can consider as well. The other featured are the old ones, Ignacio, Doxon, and then you do have the rest of the 5 stars that are available to you. I think, where does it say? So yeah, you get released 180 days before the start of this event. So you don't get Ukonen, you don't get Brimstone, you don't get Gestalt. I think these are the ones that are the ones, and Cardinal Richelieu, I suppose, that have been released so far over the last 180 days. So we do have samples. My aim here is just basically, just to try my luck. I'm not really concerned about getting any one of these, although it would serve a good cause if I can get Hypnos. I think Hypnos is one of the ones that will be in the meta right now. I think Hypnos is really good. Also, if you compare Hypnos as well, if I could find Hypnos here, Hypnos also at average speed, which means the second charge, I think it deals slightly more damage than Zaria. Yeah, he has the added effect of dispelling the buffs first and then dealing 320% damage, as well as having them immune to new status effect buffs. So this one is really good. I know someone, one of my friends have gotten Serendite from this. Serendite is also something you can consider as well, because if you compare Serendite with Zaria, even the second charge, 275% damage, with that amount of burn damage, that's way better as well compared to Zaria. So as I said, Zaria is pretty mediocre. You need good pairings in order to make her work. So let's see, what can we get here? Also, there is a chance that you can get trainer heroes from this, which is the one that I'm hoping to get as well, because I'm trying to level Brimstone, hoping to max him before the next war. I don't know if that's possible. I'm running out of feeders and I need actually one more. I need one small fire eater in order to finish him. There we go. There's the bonus trainer heroes that we want. Getting a lot of junk so far. All these 3 stars. Oh shit. Probably not a good time to do pulls, but in any case, well, I've already committed to it, so what the heck. Wow, really? Come on. Oh man. Looks like we're not getting our fire eaters anytime soon. That's a 4-star finally. Wow, some 4 stars. Is that a prelude to having a 5-star here? Nope. I haven't got any much of the 5 stars. I've only gotten Econia and gotten a Zengar, which is completely useless. The one from the blue element. Yeah, Zengar is pretty damn useless. I mean, at least Doxon is so much better. Well, I mean, it's not. Remember that the odds for this are pretty low. Okay, it's 0.2%. So don't hope too much for it. I'm just doing pools for fun. I've saved up quite a bit. And there we go. Well, that's about it. I'm not gonna do any more pulls for this. Who knows? Maybe. Well, I do have. Maybe I just fill up the chest here and then we're done. Who knows? If coins don't work, maybe gems will work. I don't know. Oh yay! Finally, we got Nova. All right. Well, I might level her up just to see how it is. Red cleanser might be good. Who knows? Yeah. So let's see. Let's hope for a I really want a. And there we go. Really needed that fire ether, and we got it. So I can max Brimstone by hopefully before war starts, and then I might use him as a tank. Who knows? But yeah, good luck for anybody who's hoping to pull Zaria or any one of these super elemental heroes. I am done with this portal right now. Don't plan to do any more pulls. And yeah, if you've already got any one of them, congratulations. Getting a 5-star from me is pretty hard. So yeah, catch you guys in the next video. GG.